Hi all. In this video, I will try to capture like how we can play the bet via GUI. So compared to my previous video, like where the betting is happening via command line interface, I pop now the betting logic in the back end. I populated it to the front end. So now you can play the poker using Lightning Network completely via GUI. So as usual, like here, these are my four nodes. You can see here, and all of these nodes has the chip and Lightning daemons are up and running. So you can see the chip daemon is up and running, and you can see the Lightning daemon is up and running. So there's no problem with these things, and then the branch is rest dev in all of these four. And in order to start, it's very simple. You simply do /bet. So the backend nodes are started, and we'll so we'll populate the front end GUI from the dealer node. That is .30 is the dealer node's IP. Just I am enabling the debug mode just to make sure, like just to see some of the debug messages if in case if there is any failure. So initial thing, first click on the game. So when you click on game, so the game actually started. Game actually started means the DCV and the dealer and blinder nodes get initiated. Once this is done, you can click on player node 1. So the player 1 is joined the table, and after that you can click on, so here in this the player 2 will join. So I clicked on it, so the player 2 joined the table. So okay, once both the players are joining, the deck shuffling will happen. So deck shuffling, how I would like to like give some insight like how the deck shuffling will happen here in this case. So as per the protocol which we designed, initially, yeah, the player create a deck of random cards, and then it will apply the permutation. The player applies the permutation on the initial deck of the cards. Once the cards get permuted, the player will encrypt those cards and then send those cards to the encrypt those cards and then send those cards to the dealer. On top of it, dealer will apply its own permutation logic. Once the dealer applies the permutation logic, it will send to the blinder. So on top of it, again the blinder will also apply its own permutations. So here you can see the deck is shuffled three times. One is at the player, the other one is at dealer, the other one is at the blinder. So once the blinder also shuffle the desk, the blinder takes the responsibility of distributing the desk. So how the desk gets distributed is like the deck is split. Each card in the deck will get each card in the deck is splitted into a number of secrets. These number of secrets are these number of shards are based on the number of players in the game. Say suppose now there are two players in the game. So each card in the game, each card in the deck is split into two secrets. And by combining these two secrets only, the card information will get revealed. So this we are doing by applying the Shamit secret key sharing. So once what the blinder will do is it will take a card from the deck. It will split into two secret and give one secret to each player. So if player 1 wants to reveal the information of the card, it has to request the player to get the secret, and then only it will reveal the information of the card. So that is a say suppose if 10 players are there, the secrets will be distributed. The card is split. The blinder will split the card into 10 secrets, and these secrets will be split to the 10 players. And if a player wants to reveal the information of the card, if the player wants to reveal the information of the card, one player has to request rest of the 9 players for these secrets. Then only a player is able to reveal the information of the card. So once the deck shuffling is done, the whole cards are drawn. So here you can see the whole cards are done, and small blind, big blind is already happened. Now, now the control comes to player 2. You can say player 0, player 1. You can say player 1 or player 2. So now the play it's a player 2's turn. Say suppose it can do, these are the four possible options with the player 2. So if you want to perform the raise operation, you need to, it will give some, like the raise amount should be greater than the big blind amount. So suppose here 2 million milli satoshis is the big blind amount. So whatever the amount that you want to raise, you need to keep that amount here. Say I'm giving something greater than 2 million milli satoshis. So say suppose this is the amount which I want to raise. So the raise is done. So the player 2 done the raise. So now the turn is the player 1's turn. So now the player 1 has four options. So call, here you can see the call amount here is displayed here. That is 1 million 9 milli satoshis is the call amount. Say suppose if the player 1 performs the call operation, so the player 1 perform the call operation. So with that, the first round of betting will be over, and then in the second round of betting will start once the community cards will be drawn. So here if you can see the lot of debug messages which are going on the side of the screen. So these are all like the drawing the community cards. So how the community cards will be drawn is like, again each and every player request other players about the secret shots, secret information. So once the other player gets the secret information about the community cards, it will able to reveal the card information. So like that, say suppose if the player 0 wants to reveal the community cards, it will send the request to the player 1 about the getting the secrets. The same process is applied by the player 2 also to get the secrets from player 1 to reveal the community cards. Say suppose here now, anyway I need to clear this text box, forget about it. So if player 2's turn, so these are the community cards, and these are the actually cards, the player 2 whole cards of the player 2. Say suppose if the player 2 performs a check, say it performs the check, and the control goes to the player 1. So player 1's turn. So player 1 can do any of these things: check, fold, all in, raise. So say suppose the player 1 also performs check. Now the next card will be drawn. So the card is the fourth card is getting drawn. Fourth community card is getting drawn here. Okay, fourth card is drawn, and again say suppose the operation is check, and just now the control, now it's a player 1's turn. So say suppose it also performs check. Now the fifth card is drawn. So now the fifth card is drawn. So suppose player 2 performs check. Now again it's a player 1's turn. Now player 1 say also performs check. Then the winner will get decided. So it is saying winning claim. Here you can see the winning claim player ID 1. So player ID 1 is 1. Received player 2. So this is the player ID 1. So this guy is 1. And you can see the same information in the back end. Who won? See here, player ID, these are the player ID 0 cards, and these are the player ID 1 cards. You can see the 5 community cards are same in both the cases. You can see the community cards are same in both the cases, but only the whole cards are different. And based on this thing, you can see the winning players are 1, and this is the winning amount. And you can see this Satoshi is already paid to the player 1. So invoice is created, and already the Satoshis are paid. So this how we can play the poker via GUI. And here also there are a lot of refinements which I need to make, like once the winning is done, I need to populate all the card information onto the GUI. That is one thing. The second thing is like say suppose now the IP values are hard coded in the code. Say suppose if you can See here, my IP values are hard coded. See, if you want to play with your own nodes, maybe you can change the IP values here for time being. So, but I am thinking of the way, rather than not hard coding, how I can enter the IP values from the front end GUI. Say suppose, see, dot 30, this is the dealer IP. Dot 31, this is the blinder IP. And if you can see, this dot 28, this is player 1 IP. Dot 29, this is player 2 IP. So these IP values are hard coded. So I need to find a mechanism where I can dynamically store these IP values when the game is getting, means if somebody get the URL of the dealer, and then if the player clicks, I need to get the this IP address dynamically and then link to the backend. That part also needs to be done. So yeah, okay. So okay, this is about like this is the progress so far, like that how you can play the poker using chips lightning network, and you can see all the payments, everything is happening in real time. Okay, yeah, thank you.